Norman Adams. Now,
Okay.
so,
So, I mean, what was said to Pred today? What is that all about?
when I called you on the phone, I wanted to set up two things. One is I needed your statement alongside Oxby's, alongside Bill's. Now, I get put in a very peculiar situation. My job is to oversee agencies, including the DOJ, LSPD, Mayor's Office, BCSO, etc., etc. And as a consequence of that, when there are filings that are made, it is incumbent on me to ensure that it is looked into, regardless of what my personal feelings may be. Rather forwardly, when I gave you a call and you told me that there was an attempt to charge you, I was pretty enraged.
Yep, me too.
So, I think it is disgusting and despicable that the individual that was the prosecutor is trying to feign responsibility by coming after you. Now, I'm just going to say this I've enjoyed working with you. I think that you have been very cooperative, and the mere fact that I'm not a fan of Shift 1. I'm not. I like some of the people. It's very frustrating for me in the morning. I can't seem to have an adult conversation, and it's just shitlording over and over again on things that are even serious. And it can get a little tough, especially when it deals with matters pertaining to the state. I can't shitlord the faceless. I can't shitlord these investigations. I might as well not have the job at that point. So, hearing that Bill, for whatever reason, decides to do it with Shift 2 LSPD, which I think there's been a lot of cooperation. Obviously, there's some turmoil, involving you guys more with some of the faceless stuff, this, that, and the third. These are things that are on the front of my mind. But I get overwhelmed at times, right? So I do think there's been development. But hearing that this guy's coming in and pressing charges on you and Oxby, the way I saw that was you're taking the one shift that's fucking working and doing police work, and you're doing something that's not only gross but demoralizing. It fucking pissed me right off, which is why I came in and said what I did. Because he did not have the authority, nor did, if he went through with those actions, it would have jeopardized an investigation he was already aware of. Now, transparently, there's some things I'm not going to be able to touch on till Jessica's done, and that conclusion's probably in the next day or so. But it's not just the LSPD that's involved. It includes the BCSO. It includes the DOJ. And until that investigation is done in a neutral manner, I just can't disclose it, right? It's just is how it is. And the reason I am not involved is because I think you're innocent. Just straightforwardly. I'm pretty sure. Right. But I can't, as a result, be leading that investigation, right?
That's fair. I understand.
So, and I caught that when I was pissed that day. I heard your phone call because I realized that if I'm that upset, I should not be the one overseeing it. And that is all documented. So,
that's understandable.
I am only going to give you my personal opinions without diving into that investigation, but I think that jerk off was told to do some real dumb shit. And I think some of it was his decision. I don't think Pred authorized it, by the way. But I think someone else did. And
so I'm not going to share the details, but I will now tell you that as of this morning, that's why I was around so bloody early. I now know what was said to Bill compared to what he did.
Yeah.
And they are two very completely different things.
Bill's a fucking crackhead.
I don't know him. You need to understand that
Yeah.
Oxby and we don't know him. I have no history with him. The only thing that we knew was that he used to be a judge at one point. I was under the impression he had an active bar license.
No.
And, Oxby and I had a discussion because there are a lot of government agencies that hire specialists to come in, but they give them, not only are they quote unquote a higher rank because of their specialty, but they also have to train at the basic level to become an officer. And so we were under that impression. But now I know exactly what he was told to do compared to what he did is completely different.
And that's, I believe that. I believed it the fucking day, even before I approached you on it. The issue for us, like I said, is it's like any other investigation, right? There's a desire to share, but that's why we wanted statements, right? It's such a tough line to play, right? Because we actively have to work together, but actively the marshals have to look into claims of wrongdoing. And I don't know.
I can see that.
Yeah.
And I understand you need to wait for the investigation to happen. But I know that my part in all of this, and even Oxby's very small part 3 months ago, we did not do anything illegal.
So I think that the conclusion that was made probably last Friday, and the confirmation that we're looking for through the statements will all make a lot of sense. And I don't think that the thing that, oh man, we should talk again once all the details are provided. Because even though Bill was told something, I think there was a lot of mishandling beyond just that. And, you know,
yes. However, there are so many different facets to this, including the structure of the decision to do default judgment, that it has tied this up into something much more bigger and uglier than it ever should have been.
No. This should have literally have been, why did it happen? And the answer is, I think, pretty gonna be reasonable. And it ends there. Unfortunately, the manner by which it was ballooned I think as a byproduct of this dog shit IA idea caused it to get worse.
So just so you know, LSPD does not have IA. We
well,
do. No, listen.
I believe
just listen
you.
to me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen to me. We both, I'm sure you already know that somebody decided to write something up. But that somebody decided in their head that it was all true and good to go. And it was never, ever said that. Ever.
He wasn't the only one that presented this to the marshals. So I'm going to go into a speculative realm alongside some conversations that I had, is that there is what is being claimed now versus what was being spun about a week ago. In fact, do you remember when I gave you a call and I'm like, who the fuck is Bill?
I think so.
It was like a week and a half ago, something like that. And I'm like, and you mentioned something about him being a commander now. So I looked into that and was presented something, and he wasn't the only one that believed it was real, right? I think his fuck up has caused a lot of backtracking.
He wasn't the only one that believed that IA was real?
Correct. I mean, Maxwell was literally his operator. And I know this firsthand because this is all coming to a helm because of the incident with, you know, the dumbass that started raiding before the signed search warrant?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So.
Yes.
Yeah. So the problem is, like, a lot of this, what is and isn't, was more than just him. It's just the culpability and the documentation prevents the obvious answers from being, you know, look, I'm just gonna fucking say this just straight up. I think Maxwell tried to fuck you. And she's gonna bend over backwards claiming otherwise, but you know, she moves different. And I don't need you to necessarily believe me. Just I'm not blind. I'm not deaf. You know.
There are certain people that find those people that are easy to manipulate and yet hide behind.
Exactly.
Because right now, everybody is talking about Bill. Yet,
he is literally a scapegoat. I went to Pred the day after you and I spoke, in order to, when I have to approach him on a matter like this, I need to remove him from the equation, right? Just as I would anyone like Alice Oman, the way she's approached. And I couldn't even get the basic answer of, like, are you aware of these things, to remove him off the table, right? Just get his statement and we're done with it. But I am very much aware of the conversations that took place, the day afterwards, after you went on vacation for 2 days. And the way in which it eventually turned into he got fired, like, those things weren't an accident, right? This is my personal opinion, and maybe I'm fucking wrong. But it's like, it's kind of one of those things where you've been to the rodeo enough times, like, it doesn't, you know what's happening in the background. Like, that man did not get those balls just out of nowhere, right? So, it's...
Yeah, I know some things. I don't know everything. And as I said, I took 2 days off work. And this morning I was able to speak to Assistant Chief and the Chief together finally. I had already spoken to the Chief prior, but we needed to get clarification if anything had been said to assistant chief. And let's just say when he found out what had happened over the weekend, his jaw was on the ground.
I told him the day before. I quite literally told him that this dumb fuck almost destroyed shift 2. I said it again today. That's why Maxwell was like, oh my God. She knew what the fuck was going on. But, you know, conveniently playing dumb to these things, like, I don't buy that, you know? When I said it to him the day before, like, it's just, it's, and, you know, the worst thing about it all is...
What's that?
Never mind. I think deep down, I think Pred thinks that like we want to target him over all this.
Well, I'm sure that's how he feels. I mean, that's how it feels. He does not understand why you don't want to work with Shift 1. He truly does not comprehend that. He doesn't.
It's...
and the thing is, not everybody works well together. It just is what it is. I don't work well together with everybody in the world. But
we used to work so well together. I don't know what the fuck happened.
I don't think anything has happened. He just doesn't understand. There is something there. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. In Shift 2, I'm not going to give you some of the officers that I know that can't do exactly what is needed if an operation is going ahead. But I do know the people that have the strengths and that can work well and can follow orders and can even give the correct orders. And I think that is the downfall right now of Shift 1, is that they don't understand that every type of officer can coexist. Listen, Opal is an excellent officer, but she is very down right now. The fact that her best friend just passed away is not good. Give me one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gravy, I'm just in a little meeting. Can I call you back? Okay, thank you. Thanks, bye. But she has excellent expertise. We have other people that can be leaned upon. We really do. We have King. We have others that are around earlier.
And I'd love to involve them, to be honest. King tends to be asleep by the time I wake up. Opal and Aaron, we've been working fantastic with. Most of it, I think, becomes also a consequence of I wake up, I'm dealing with a million things. Like, I don't have time for a 40-minute, you know, this and that. It's just, we get right to the races. And sometimes it means speaking up. I want involved, right? Like, and it, just like Key and Quangle, right? Like, we try to bring them to every op. Why? Because we, like, if, like, there is a reason for a short list. It's, we got to just go, right?
Agreed.
And,
you know, I thought I'd come around a little early this week to kind of just check on different people, see how things are going. I got on duty this morning. I was in a meeting. I was in multiple meetings for 4 hours.
Oh, yeah. Fuck them. It's
a lot.
That conversation at the airfield, right? Like, I think that's sometimes where things go sideways, right? I have very strict mandates from the state, including equipment like this, those helicopters. I don't even have the full authority yet. They're awaiting SOPs, and the reason why we hand those certs is because if someone pulls it out during some dumb shit, I'm the one that gets fucked in the ass, not anyone else. And some of those, hey, wanting to be in the loop, get very awkward. It turns into a very awkward conversation, right?
I
So,
understand that, but the fact that listen, I'm going to look at it externally. You said that you were in the middle of conversation for the last couple of weeks, waiting for a decision. We knew that King had been talking to Delta to try and get helicopters. King was super excited. I think all that probably would have been needed is Pred, I'm looking into it. It's currently out of our hands. I'll let you know as soon as I can. And I think that's all he wants.
I think that is fair if he is willing to be reasonable, because I do think that I started to try to explain that in front of everybody. As I quite literally had no idea as to the status, and I still don't, because it's still awaiting the next level of response, right?
He doesn't need to know the details, and neither does Sheriff Frost. But I'll be honest with you, Brian. You agree? You will agree with me that these attacks upon our state are becoming more frequent. Not only are they more frequent, they're more aggressive.
When
You've literally been captured twice.
Let me put this in a different way. I have a active Discordia email in which I am waiting to know when I can discuss certain things.
I understand. I really do.
So telling somebody details while I am still learning about it in the moment is unreasonable. And
I agree. However, you can say exactly like you did say today, I'm waiting for the state. That is all we need to hear. The fact is, in the end, Brian, marshals, LSPD, and BCSO, we're all going to have to work together. We really will.
100%. But let me ask, did I not try to explain that? Right? But if I'm met with there's no communication when I'm literally getting it, 10, 15 minutes prior, is kind of insane, right? Now, keep in mind, Darkstone is not the state. Darkstone would quite literally do whatever, and then it is our ass that gets fucked, right? Because
I understand that, but on your Rolodex, there are certain people that should be a priority, and somehow you need to fit in the chief of police and Sheriff Frost.
And as they have been. So the plan of action, so where this whole, Darkstone speaking to King thing came from, my understanding was that there was some better helicopters that were needed, right? Separate from military equipment. Now, the military equipment, once we had SOPs, and the details of which I'm still waiting for, we would then be providing it to the heads of the departments. But sort of in lieu of that, before even I know the answers, I can't really say much because I'd be speaking out of turn, right? There's a lot of other things that may or may not happen. Like I said, I only just learned about some of this stuff this morning. Now, these discussions have been rather broad, the conclusion of which even happened at the airfield today. So
at the end of the day, I can see where we're heading. I can see the aggression increasing. I can see the people that are getting arrested on these faceless incidents. I can see the circle that they are putting their mark on is widening. I can see the different groups that are now involved. And this is getting bigger than all of us. And that's why we have to work together.
That's exactly it. Now, I'm going to clue you in a little bit of where some of that apprehension can come from. We had a meeting in regards to Barrick Johnson, over at the observatory, right? Where the concern was brought forward was Barrick Johnson, a faceless asset. Very clearly, I brought the chief, the sheriff, the undersheriff. Asked chief wasn't available. Said bring up one other member of command. And I began to speak on the reasons why we believe he may still be compromised. And it was made very clearly that it was still an active investigation. And specifically in that, if he was left in the office or otherwise, we could not let that out. You know what happened the next morning? PD announcement and spamming of 311.
Really?
Yes. Then, Bjorn was being investigated. Why? Over the 2 days prior to the breakout of the prisoners, we had phone calls between Bjorn and Lang Buddha on his prison cell phone, including the very time frame of the prison break. This wasn't coincidental. This was quite literally from 3:30 to 5:30, the point at which we first spotted the cargo bobs, to the actual breakout. And so we approached him, and he was asked some questions. We had to, what's going on with this? What were you doing here? Why didn't you let us know that Lang is calling you on a prison phone? Did you know he was inside, etc., etc.? Because we don't know. It's just very suspicious, as any non-law enforcement officer should be looked at. In addition, we were provided photographs of Forehead and Bjorn spliced, mind you, leaving the restaurant up north, alongside photographs of the meeting. So we need to understand what his culpability was and if he was culpable. What was interesting about it all is Lang's phone not only was calling Forehead, but was also calling Bjorn and other individuals that were trying to throw weapons in. So, while attempting to ascertain whether we should be concerned with Bjorn, is the very next day, I'm getting demanded information about a martial investigation, right? Which we had agreed with Angel on would lead the whole thing. This is from Pred. Now, I let him know, hey, I'm in the middle of something. We can discuss these matters, but we should bring in Angel. I am then chased down with Ruth in the middle of something by Pred, screaming and demanding that he get the information, otherwise he's going to hire Bjorn. I follow up this conversation, and this guy on the phone next to Bjorn, this is based on what he's telling me, let him know that there's an ongoing investigation. So my apprehension isn't founded on opinions, right? Rather actions. And I need to at times be like, hey, is this going to be shitlorded? Right? And, I think not succumbing at certain points to that may be causing some tension. But I can only speculate, right? So it's not like these are...
So he was terminated, right?
I don't know. I think he was let go. at the end of it, the conclusion that we made is that we cannot sit here and actually know for certain whether or not he was involved. But very similar to Barrick, in the midst of us trying to ascertain, the involvement, it turned into SBS, right? And so, we're going to hire him anyways. You better tell me. It wasn't even an attempt to get Angel in there, right? Have that meeting set up. So like I said, it becomes like a balancing act. Look, we're willing to provide information, right? But if it's serious and you have a history of, just turning into some dumb shit, I have to, got to be protective.
So yeah, I didn't know any of this about Bjorn.
No.
I've seen him in the meeting today.
Yeah.
But I didn't. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd recommend having a chat with Angel. We both were uncertain, right? And we're trying to be as. We didn't want this guy to end up, feeling a certain way, which is why we kept it very close, right? And there was no attempt in that particular case to not provide this information for LSPD, but effectively there was a demand to fast forward the information, and no meeting was set up, right? Like that very day, I said, let's get Angel and Daisy, we're leading this up, into a room because I'm not going to speak on their behalf, right? So,
Okay.
Now, as to whether or not he's doing something, we don't have the evidence for it, which I think ultimately is why the decision was made. But
So
a
why
lot of
was he
that also,
dismissed?
I don't think he was dismissed. I don't know.
I'm gonna ask.
I don't know what the
I'm just gonna ask.
Yeah, you probably should. I don't know what the ultimate decision was. I know that he ended up transferring. I learned that I think Friday or something like that. But I think part of it too was it wasn't just that. Apparently, he didn't write any reports for like 2 months straight.
Good Lord.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there was a lot of other factors that were involved in this, but it was very much convoluted into, oh no, Bjorn, oh no, which I like Bjorn a lot, right? But,
What's his relationship to Lang?
Oh, they go way the fuck back.
But like friends or more?
No,
I mean,
like
family.
Nephew.
Ah.
The entire prison break, here's what I believe occurred. The target was likely Matthew Colby. I doubt Lang was the target, but a benefit that may have possibly come out of Jaeger Demon Blood being around, and specific phone number that we have not yet identified, talking to Forehead and Bjorn in that same time frame of the prison break. It's just so fucking cool. Like,
Hold on, Jaeger's around?
Yes.
That's Lang's son.
Yep.
So it's got so bad that he's now reaching out to family.
I don't think he reached out. I think he was reached out to. And because I talked to Lang after he had gotten out, I'm the one that Ruth and we got clarity. We spoke to the judge to put the charges down, and we were able to convince him to turn himself in. And the guy was fucking depressed. I don't think he wanted to be broken out. And the moment he realized he could be facing up to another 11 and a half years, he was like, fuck this shit. And I will say that the means by which he was turned in, it was very beneficial to the state. He is not a fan of the faceless. But for
Because they
some
used
reason,
him?
yes. Well, this is they tried to hold it over his head. Just like they led me somewhere and stabbed me. Almost as a look at what we can do. You're powerless.
I'm so sorry that happened to you again.
I'm glad it did.
Is there a report or an incident that is not a martial report I can look at in regards to some of that?
The Bjorn stuff?
No, in regard to you, someone said a couple of people were apprehended.
I believe it's a regular report. It shouldn't be a martial
Okay.
report. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to look it up because I'm keeping a little tally of those that have been arrested from these kinds of, attacks.
Mm.
And it's very interesting to see the key people from around our city.
Yes. You weren't around for this, but we got Enemy of the State passed. We had a panel of justices.
Yeah.
And
I read it.
It's going to get very serious very soon. So look, all right. Well, anyways, look at, if any point you feel like LSPD is not being included, please do let me know. I mean, that is not my intention. I'm not interested in politics. I'm really not.
Well, personally, one of the reasons why I'm taking these few days to come around shift one is because I want to see how they operate.
Yeah.
I want to see the key people. I want to see who takes lead. I want to see all that. And I need to see it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay. All right. Well.
All right. If you could take me back to the observatory.
Yep. Absolutely.
Car.
Everything involving that case is going to be, like I said, closed in the next 24, 48 hours. So some of that things will get a little bit more clear.
Okay.
Also, what I told you about Lang, try to keep that to yourself just because it's not known to many people because, he's been targeted under allegations of leaking in the past. Specifically, he was hunted down by the besties due to Petey telling the besties that Lang told them that they were trying to smuggle weapons in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I don't have a lot to do with Lang. I haven't been involved in any of his situation. But when it comes to Charlie and the others, they're really good yappers. They love to have a chat. Yeah. They say things sometimes that give things away.
Jimbo Sutton's body was utilized to smuggle guns into prison. Lang let law enforcement know, and they literally just called up Forehead and told them.
God damn.
Yeah. I just wish we were cops. You know what I mean? Like that, and we valued other people's lives. I mean, I don't know how else to dice it. Back in the day, that would have gotten you blacklisted. And,
yeah. Yep, I hear you there.
But...
yeah, a lot of things are different, and some things are still the same that I wish were different.
Yeah. Well,
Well, thank you for talking with me. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay.
And yeah, I will talk to you and see what's happening next. Thank you.
Yep. Anytime. No, Frost.
Hey, remember me? It's Mama.
Yeah, email his ass.